All right, all right. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. Today we are March 10, 2026. So let me know in the chat if you can see my screen, if you can hear me. Uh oh, don't even start. We got 100 people already. Thank you for being here. So all right. You already know, drop some 8 to tell me that the screen is okay. You can hear me clearly and everything is fine. All right. So, today's price action was a little bit, well, at first I think that the high of the day has been set. Okay, I think the high of the day has been set on YM especially, and we had this manipulation and we dropped down. But as of right now, we are very close to the daily open. We come back to it. So now I'm paying attention to see what price will do in the next 15 to 30 minutes. We are inside of this imbalance. So I will pay attention to this imbalance to see whether or not we are going to the downside or if price will just cross the daily open and to keep going higher. Okay. on ES, well, we had a divergence on the current high of day, manipulation and divergence inside of a potential sell area because I had a potential sell area right there. The market is reacted to it right now. So what I expect, what I see the market does today is like, yes, at first we might be bearish. Okay, so we might be bearish at first. The market might moving to the downside, but moving to the downside to potentially set a low and reaccumulate again to keep going higher. That might be the case, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I want to see price reacted off the daily open, especially on YM, to make sure that all right, we are going to the downside. Okay. Because on YM the high has been set. Okay, we had the confirmation that the high has been set, and the other two indices we had a divergence, which makes sense. But now we come back to the daily open and we just we are very close to it. So that's why basically I gotta pay attention. Okay, I gotta pay attention now. Check ES real quick. From 8 to 9:30, that will be our pre-market low, and that will be our London low, which the opening is right there. So we are below the London low already. So that's the London low. To be honest, before I went to bed, I wanted to see price retrace to the downside first and then to be bullish for the day. since we had a huge manipulation right there in that creating expansion, I wanted to see price retrace and then move to the upside first. So to create the continuation to go higher, but sorry guys, but the market just move to the upside first. But the only thing is like we create targets. My opinion, the current high of the day is a target. It's doing. We stay close to the daily open still, so I'm just waiting. AM. I'm just in waiting mode. Okay. I'm just in waiting mode because the market comes back to the daily open, and when the market comes back to the daily open like that, after manipulation, and I want to pay attention to see if we're gonna close above it, of that, or if that's gonna be just a reaction. Okay, that's the next exchange open right there, and we're gonna have the first 15 minutes. Okay, but the only problem is like if we want to short EYM since the high has been set, we don't really have targets. I'm waiting. But we also have to pay attention to this imbalance on H4 though. Okay, because that was the first accumulation we had. Basically, that's with an expansion. So this movement to the downside might be a short movement to just react and move to the upside, just like that. That's why I'm very patient this morning, just waiting. I have two scenarios in mind right now. Um, Selling YM. Okay, well, that looks good. Okay. Selling YM, but we don't really have a nice target. Well, we can consider this as target, but it's not the nicest one. Selling YM based on the current half day that's been set, and we can say that was just a retracement and to keep going lower. Okay. Or basically, well, we're gonna not a divergence, we're gonna have an imbalance right there. We're gonna have an imbalance right there. But at the same time, we have to pay attention to how the market will react at the Asian low, because the current high of day on ES is a target, and the current high of day on NQ also is a target. Well, we can say we had a divergence, but um yes, we had a divergence. But when we put everything together, for example, we had this manipulation right there. That was the first, let's say, the first accumulation. If we follow the cycle, that was the first accumulation. So today you expect a reaccumulation to go higher. So right now the daily context doesn't look bullish, but we have to understand that, all right, we react from this potential buy area yesterday. Okay, we react and move to the upside. Today is gonna be kind of retracement to go low higher. That's why if I want to short, I'm not gonna have like a big targets. Okay, and as you can see, NQ is above the daily open. See if we can create a small manipulation. I'm waiting. I'm watching my other charts on my left, because watching two things at the same times. I'm not taking any trades yet. Okay, price action is not that clear today, but when I say that clear, the context is not that clear today, but we are waiting. On each 4 point of view, I thought the high set can consider the low of November 21st and the previous daily low as target. The high looks set on YM, but the other two indices doesn't show any sign of weakness. So if I'm gonna short, that's gonna be on YM. All right. the first 20 something minutes, this is what we have as price action. Rejection right there. We got rejection, we got another rejection, now we are having another rejection. That's why I have to pay attention to the low of Asia, because why might drop lower, but just to manipulate the Asia low and then create a reaction after that. Well, I want to see a manipulation during the session right now. Yes, looks like we are retracing inside of this imbalance on each one to just keep going lower. Yes, and YM telling us we might go lower, but NQ is not ready yet, just like the other day. In 9 minutes, we're gonna have the opening of the new hour at 10. Just wait for it. Based on the daily context, the high of YM is set, but it's just like the entire market cycle is not making sense, in my opinion. And even though we have a target right there, I don't see price going that low today. I might be wrong. That was a pre-market low idea. And as you can see, the market just reacted from it. Well, the daily context, let me just make a recap for you guys. The daily context on why I'm telling you, all right, the high of the day might be potentially set, and then we are moving to the upside, all right? But after that, we don't really have the other two indices following this idea right now, because yes, we have divergence, but I have to remember that the current high of day on ES is a target, as you can see, and the current high of NQ is also a target. Well, we have a manipulation Okay, because the market reacted from this previous daily high I had right there. Okay, but right now the current high of the day, I can't trust it. I can't trust it as manipulation. I see it more as a target, which means the current high on ES and the current high on NQ, they are basically targets. So now if we have to short something, that's gonna be basically YM. Okay, that's gonna be YM. But and also have to pay attention to how YM will react inside of this imbalance on H4, because that's an imbalance on H4. That's a huge imbalance on H4. We have two big imbalance on H4, which means no matter where your target might be below, remember the market has to cross these two imbalances on H4 to go to your targets. Okay. Watching the twin indices right there. So now for those asking why I don't really talk about shorting NQ, different reason. NQ came above the daily open right now. Okay, we are above the daily open, and I don't like to see that. When we are bearish after the manipulation, I want to see big conviction. I want to see huge conviction. That's why I'm waiting right now. I'm just in waiting mode. Just in waiting mode right now. All right, we're gonna have 10, 3 minutes. Guys, you're asking a lot of questions in the chat, but if I'm like focusing on answer your questions, I won't be able to like watching price. So I see some questions, but I can't answer right now. All right, now let's see if the two indices can follow YM, but we are inside of this imbalance on H4, inside of this imbalance on higher time frame. I don't like it this morning. Probably not gonna trade today. Well, it's if you wanna execute, you can execute, you can take trades. All right, we have the opening of the new hour right now. We have the opening of a new hour at 10. So we come back below the daily open on NQ. Like all of the indices right now are below the daily open, which looks like we might have a potential movement to the downside. But again, if I was you, I would be very cautious because you're trading against higher time frame imbalances right now. The market is very close to these imbalances, and um YM already inside of it, and Q and ES very close to it. I personally not gonna execute. Like I said, you might execute, you might see, all right, YM was ready to go to the downside and you traded. But me personally, I'm not gonna take it. All right, that's the hourly open right there. And it's 10, it's 11, it's 10, and that's 11. All right, we already know how it works, right? Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to tell people what to do with the money. This stream is definitely for education and entertainment. All right, since we are 100 something, I play the disclaimer again so you can know that I had a disclaimer. I'm gonna balance on H right there. You see, so if someone like asked me, Coach, the high said why you don't want to like sell and everything, what's going on right now, that's exactly what I expected, but I didn't want to see price move to the upside first. Okay, I wanted to see price manipulate, like come back inside of this imbalance or come back to the 50% to keep going higher before I went to bed, which means before I do my analysis, before I went to bed, I do my analysis. All right. And then the fact that we move to the upside first and then we drop to the downside, because I'm still bullish based on the market cycle, based on what we had yesterday. Okay. This big movement to the upside, this low has been set. So I expect today to like create a context for me to buy, not really to sell. I didn't expect a context to sell this morning, you know. So now, yes, we can say the high is set, but right now it doesn't matter what you have below. The market has to go through all of these imbalances on a higher time frame to take your target, and so that's basically what you don't want to see. So I see this probably as a manipulation or potential divergence. Okay. I see this as potential divergence. So now the thing is, you're gonna have YM low set, high set, but you will have ES as the current high of the day has been set, 6,833.50. So if we can cross the New York Stock Exchange open and then retest it, I mean retest the mitigation we're gonna have right there. Okay. Or not even the mitigation. If we can close above this, if we can close above this candle, I'm gonna be bullish. Because I will consider this manipulation, and the fact that YM, if YM create the same thing, we're probably gonna have like the low of the set, you know, based on the divergence and the manipulation and stuff like that. Well, I'm waiting right now. So the first 5 minutes of the hour, you have a manipulation at the pre-market. Okay. The first 5 minutes we have a rejection. Did we come to the pre-market low on NQ? Let me check real quick. That's 8:30. Yeah. That's the pre-market low. I'm just waiting, guys. So now we have the new hourly open. Just see what the hourly open will tell us in the next 5 minutes. Take the trade. If the hourly open is bearish, well, you might take the short, but I'm not gonna take trades. I'm not gonna take it. You're free to do it. All right. Again, you're free to do it, but yeah. But me personally, I don't like what I see too short. Even though we have the high set on YM, but this is not the high quality of trades I want. That's not the quality of trades I want to take. The hourly trying to tell us that we probably be bearish. But again, like I said, I'm not in trade right now. I'm not executing right now. I'm just watching price. I'm not interested on selling. I don't know, probably experience, but I don't like what I see too short. Well, I might be wrong in, but yeah, so considering manipulate New York Stock Exchange low, well, I don't know what it is, what it is to be honest. To be honest, I don't have New York Stock Exchange low. I just have pre-market low and low of Asia, low of London, previous daily low and previous daily high. And yeah, the first 30 minutes too, but so the first 15 minutes of the new hour, we rejection both ways on all of the three indices. Gonna keep watching it on M5 to see what's going on. And we are inside of this imbalance on H4 right now. Okay. Well, I'm not saying it's impossible to just drop and go take the target. But based on what I had on my screen before I went to bed, I don't this is the thing. This is the thing when I'm telling you that trading is not like when you were at school, you know, 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 2, 4, and that's it. You don't have to argue, you don't have to trying to understand the context, you know. So now, yeah, the context telling me to short. All right, I get that. Anybody that want to short, I have no problem with that. Okay, like if you say, bro, the high is set, we got a retracement. Why we don't just short? Well, you can do that. It's your account. It's your thing. You can do that. Me personally, based on experience, I don't see these as high probability trade. I don't see it. That's why I told you I'm not gonna execute. I'm not gonna execute. Like, too short. And if you are on my Discord, you probably know about that. Okay, so yesterday, well, we know what happened yesterday. Okay, yesterday we thought we had a low resistance low and stuff like that. All right, so we have this manipulation and big expansion. That's might be like the first accumulation. And tomorrow, what I wanted to see price dropping lower first, and to probably inside of this imbalance around the 50% to create a reaccumulation to keep going higher. But the only thing is, like, we move to the high first and then we set the high, and I don't see me selling price action against these two higher time frame imbalances. Can I be wrong? Yes, I can be wrong. Yesterday I was wrong. Well, that's why I don't see me selling this market right now. And even YM that give us like the confirmation to go lower, we see at 10, we don't really have like, okay, that's the hourly open. The first 5 minutes, we had a rejection. Second one, we got another rejection to the downside, but we don't really close below that. And the next 5 minutes to 10 to 10:15, we stay around here. And I don't know. This is just not high probability in my opinion. So the Discord I'm talking about, it's in Creole. So I remember you said you don't speak Creole. I remember you said you only speak French and English and Portuguese and Italian. I don't know. I don't remember, but you can replace Chat GPT. That's the only thing I know. That's the only thing I remember. You can replace Chat GPT. Okay. So yeah. So now, since this might be a potential manipulation, okay. Well, even though we're not above the daily open yet, all right, I get it. But if that's gonna be a manipulation, and that will create a divergence with ES, and I will be more likely to buy to attack the current high of day, which is a target. Okay, so I like that better than shorting right now. So we're gonna have these. We have that icy candle. That looks interesting, in my opinion, to go higher. I'll long that to go higher to take the current high of day based on this divergence. And we're already inside of this imbalance, and ES just did not come back to it. Let's see. All right. I like that to go higher. And as you can see, the asset that set the high of day is not giving bearish it's not giving bearish things. You know, sometimes there are some stuff I can explain them based on experience, not um based on experience. All right. So this Isaac Kendo is an opportunity to go higher, and again, that might be the low of day. All right. I will be more confident if we close above this series of up candle. That will confirm that we have a medication, and to keep going higher and higher and probably go take these targets. Well, that was a potential sell area I had. Yes, we had a manipulation, but we left some liquidity right there. I'll be here on streams. Well, by the way, I just opened some spot for my English community, because I just started an English community to on school, not Discord, for my English speakers. So you can contact me anywhere to have access to it. You can contact me anywhere to have access to it, like on Instagram, or you can see my WhatsApp number. You can send a WhatsApp message, and I will answer, me or my assistant. Most of the time, it's gonna be me. I like having connection with my people. You know, having connection with my people. Right? So yeah, so if you bought right there, that will be probably your stop loss, and see this target right there. That's a 123.89. That's a 123, and that's a 122. So we're gonna close. We're gonna have the close of the 5 minute candle in 30 seconds. Okay. In 15 minutes, what it looks like, a big candle, and probably gonna create an icy candle in 15 minutes. On 1 hour, what it looks like, we had a rejection bearish, but now buying orders are taking over, and we had a divergence right there. That's the divergence I was talking about. Okay. And on H4, what it looks like, well, we had a big bearish candle. That's, we have to watch this if you long. Hopefully you understand why I I was talking about long instead of short. Okay. and that's a target. The current high of day is a target. We don't have the manipulation on ES, but we had a divergence based on the YM. That's a second target to 6850.75, and just gonna have to wait and see what price will do. Okay. I don't have coffee with me this morning. Plus bullish parce qu'il high c'est target. Yes, NQ and ES high c'est target. NQ, I mean ES high c'est target. Et depuis les notes, qu'on est relation avec YM. Qu'on relation avec YM déjà so. Actually lié dem là. Actually lié dem. Lié dem confirmé ça que m't'a cherché avant d'aller dormir. So now we're just waiting. I see higher pricing on all of the indices right now. We keep going higher. The market did retrace to the IC candle border. The market retraced to the IC candle, I guess. We didn't retrace. Yep. We dropped down. We retraced to it. That's the candle that give us the confirmation that's an IC. And then the next candle drop down to it and then move to the upside. We got 161 people here. That's nice. All right. That's the IC. We drop down. We come back to it. The retracement you're talking about, I don't know if you're talking about retracement of like having price action. It's still possible. Okay. Sometimes the market might just create it and retest it right away and move to the upside. And then after that, we might come back to it. But sometimes the market might just keep going higher. Okay. So that might be the first leg and the market might create the second leg. But now if we create another concept, all right, let's say we create like a mitigation or we create an inversion, the market might just retrace to the new concept instead of coming back there to just keep going higher. That's why people that's waiting sometimes for the market to come back to the IC candle, they don't get filled. They don't got their entry because the market just like, for example, right now, you're gonna have price that create a lot of imbalances, you know. We have this imbalance right there. We have that imbalance right there. So you have all of this imbalance. So the market might retrace to one of them and never come back to the IC if you are waiting for price to come back with price action. Because me personally, as soon as we retrace to it, it's a mitigation. We mitigate it already, in my opinion. You feel me? We mitigate it already, in my opinion. So, and then yeah, hopefully you understand what I explained. La Falaise Bertoni. Okay. All right. So now I want to see price break this imbalance. We have 30 minutes left. Well, it's 10:30 now. So 10:30, where are we? 10:30 based on the hourly open. So that was the hourly open. We dropped down, we set the low, we retrace above it, and now it looks like the low of the hour has been set. Okay. And then this opportunity is based on the divergence. Okay. So it's based on the divergence with YM right there. I didn't want to short YM. I told you that during the stream. I didn't see this short as high potential like setup. Okay. So now we probably might manipulation to after that go lower. Anything can happen, you know. But I don't see price lower right now. I don't see price lower right now. I was wrong yesterday, but today we got it, guys. We got it, fam. We got it. Your confidence in your context is amazing and inspiring. Bravo, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. That's the level of confidence I want all of my students to have in the market. You know, just stay calm and watch price, and you don't have to be in a hurry. Okay. And having a probabilistic mindset, you know, sometimes you're gonna get it wrong, sometimes you're gonna lose money, sometimes you're not gonna understand what the market is doing. So it's happening, but your confidence is what makes you like better. I was watching a basketball game last night. I was watching the Nuggets against the Thunder. That was a game of confidence, bro. Like, that was a game of confidence. And to be honest, I was watching it. I'm like, damn, that's the confidence I want to have. The confidence of Che, the confidence of Jokic, the confidence of Murray, the confidence of Mitchell. They just playing with confidence. You feel like everybody, they are confident on themselves. And and the confidence come with preparation, like I usually say. All right. Before I went to bed, I do my preparation and I understand what price action am I doing for the day. And that give me more like that boosts a little bit my confidence. And when I come in the market, I don't have to rush anything. If I get it right, I get it right. I get it wrong, I get it wrong. See you tomorrow. It's nothing more, nothing less than that, you know. It's just simple, man. You get it wrong, you get it wrong. So now, of course, I'm streaming about I'm streaming in front of like 160 people, sometimes 200. I remember last year we were at 300 in August before I stopped doing streams. Yeah, when you get it wrong, that might hit your ego a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. That might hit your ego a little bit, but the confidence to come back the next day and do this, it's very important. It's so important. And then now YM is moving back above the daily open. YM is moving back above the daily open, and we close. Can break this high. We're gonna have a mitigation right there, and the fact that we close above this 2 down candle, that's a nice candle right there. So I don't know, man. This market doesn't look bearish, in my opinion, in my vision. And if you take the entry on the IC candle, like, it's time to break even. to partials or anything like that. Will you be concerned on equal on NQ and engineer lows on ES? Let me watch NQ real quick. Oh yeah, NQ built some liquidity right there. NQ built some liquidity right there. That's gonna stay here for future reference. Gonna stay here for future reference. And ES, I did not really consider these two as targets, to be honest. And on M5, I see this more as a fractal, but like I used to say, like I wanna see price do something like this. You know, we had a market that moving to the downside, we will trace and then we come back close to it, okay, and to have the W, all right. So, and I'm not going below M5. I have to see it very clear on M5, okay. You might get a point right there with considering this as engineer low, but my entire focus was on the divergence with YM and the fact that YM is inside of this imbalance. If you remember, we talked about this in the channel, like not every day, but we talked about it when we have the three indices create an imbalance and one of them can come back to the imbalance and the other ones cannot. It looks like it's a type of divergence. It's a type of divergence, and then to keep going to that direction. But to be honest, I did not I did not see that. I was saying, all right, that might be a manipulation. That might be a reversal. And even when the market was moving to the downside, I was saying, I can't short this market. I can't short this market for a few reasons. First reason is the fact that even though I wanted to short, but I have to go through those two imbalances in higher time frame to go to my target. And it happens sometimes. But I didn't see it today. Okay. I didn't see it today. Your system is really interesting. I will do what it takes to master it with confidence. Yes, Regan. Yeah, it's simple. It's not too complicated than that. All right, it's not too complicated than that. So from the IC to that's already 30 something points, and that's 55 points. Looks amazing. That was the new Howard candle. Like 15 minutes did not create weak. Let me go to 15 minutes to see something. We don't have a week right there. Yes, we have week. Oh, we don't have it on YM. Hmm. It's almost 11. Well, I usually close the stream at 11. The market creates his targets right there on NQ, and we're probably gonna leave them for future reference. And but it's not the current low of day though. The current low of day, it's this low, the Asian low, the low of Asia. Okay, the low of Asia, and now we are very close to our targets. 6,833.50. Well, the last few days, the last few weeks, I see NQ, not just NQ, the indices doing something very strange. Sometimes they're gonna come to this area and never like take the target, you know. So that's why you have to manage your trade accordingly. Like if the market, like you see the market arrives here and like doesn't wanna like go to the targets, they might leave it for tomorrow or the other day. And also if the other indices they break these highs and the asset that has the target doesn't want to break it, that's gonna be something else too. Okay, all right. It's almost 11. We are about to invert this imbalance on each one and to keep going higher, man. Ça fait vraiment vérifier si gen mesh nan bougie ya. Because a lack of wick, it's like a gap. A lack of wick, it's like a gap. And the other trading view, like this trading view right there, I have another screen, right? I see a lack of wick on in. I didn't see which end this is, but it was on YM. So basically, lack of wick means gap. It's very simple. Okay. And we know gap, it's lack of orders, lack of transactions. Let me see if I can find one for you guys so you can understand it better. I don't see any. Well, I don't see any despite this one. All right, right there. That's a no week candle. The market can come back here to keep going higher. Okay. Oh, we have it. Oh no, we don't have it on ES. 15 more minutes to go to the hour of the session, the hour of the candle basically. So today you'll turn your back on the downside objective. Is it because it's 2 4-hour imbalances? Well, not really. That was the target on ES. Okay, so now I don't consider the low has been set on ES. You get that? But we had a divergence. Okay, this manipulation divergence inside of the imbalance. What's gonna tell me if the low is set? Basically, we all know the three things: manipulation, divergence, and inside of a higher time frame imbalance. Higher time frame imbalance. You see? So basically, these three things we had them right there, and the context on ES was, I can say, silver. Okay, because the current half day was a clean target for me. The context was different on YM, but on ES, the current half day was a target. So if the current half day is a target and we are below the daily open, I'm waiting for confirmations to go higher and attack this target. You get it? So now if you ask me why, and if you consider this as target and you ask me why that was a target, well, why you trade against it? Well, to be honest, I did not pay attention to it. Okay. I did not pay attention to it. I was watching price, watch the hourly open. You see me watching the hourly open. The first 5 minutes, we had a rejection candle, and then after that we came back below it, and then we reverse. As soon as this IC candle was created, is a confirmation that the low has been set for me. The low of the hour has been set, and the low of the day on YM has been set. Yeah, today is not for beginner. Well, sometimes it's gonna be tough for me to explain certain stuff, but sometimes it's just experience, man. Because I will understand somebody that tell me, well, yo, you tell me like the high, whenever the high is set, we can just short. Whenever the low is set, we can just buy. And this high looks set on YM, and you tell me you're not selling. So now I will tell you, all right, let me refresh for you. It's not just the daily context. If I have the daily context, and then it's the most important thing, but I'm not gonna forget everything else. What happened yesterday? Okay, yesterday we had a manipulation and we had a big expansion. Okay, well, we had like a few bearish days, and that was the first bullish day, and the manipulation was very aggressive. The expansion was very aggressive. The next day I expect to have a reaccumulation, right? Which means that was the first accumulation. The next day I'm waiting for price to just retrace and keep going higher. Okay, and before I went to bed, I just put the line in this imbalance and a line at the 50% of previous day range. If you're not very weak, the market might just retrace to this imbalance. But if you're weak enough, the market might retrace to the 50%. That's what I said before I went to bed. Okay, and I come here and I see the market move to the upside first. All right, so yeah, we probably set the high first, but that's not what I wanted to see in the market. All right, and then the fact that this information and that information are not correlated or they're not connected, it's a little bit hard for me to sell. And then we have these two imbalances, and that I wanted to see price mitigate to keep going higher. I will have to go through all of these imbalances in higher time frame, which is not something I wanted to do this morning. Okay. Which is not something I wanted to do this morning. I explained it to you, Regan. Come on, man. I explained to you 2 weeks ago. Let me find the video on my French channel. On my French channel, right? I explained it to you, man. Let me find a video. I remember you were on the stream this day. Comment lire le cycle du marché. Voilà, j'ai fait cette vidéo là. Can I put it right there? J'ai fait cette vidéo, frérot, dans notre avant-dernier random. Et je l'ai posté sur ma chaîne YouTube. Je vous ai expliqué le cycle du marché. Ok. And it's not too complicated at all. It's just like, I'm buying, probably this is not something I do almost every single day. Now I'm buying the asset that's not set the low, but we had a divergence with YM. And we are reacting inside of an imbalance. And I didn't want to short YM neither. I did not want to short YM. Okay. And I told you, if the short scenario happens in the market, I will not execute. Well, I will not execute. Well, if we have a big short, the market drop lower, I will not execute because I don't feel that was a high probability setup, in my opinion. That's what I told you, right? And I explained to you, well, if we can break above a high of a candle. Okay, when I was saying that it was this candle, I guess, and after that we drop lower, it became this candle. All right, this candle on ES. All right. If we can close above it, we're gonna have an IC, and this IC will be the potentially confirmation that we are moving to the upside. I have some drop frames, so let me know in the chat if you can see me, if you can hear me, if everything is fine. So as of right now, we are very close to our target, which is the current high of day right there. Right there. So YM is already above these highs right now. Good sign. Well, I don't use the ETF, bro. I used to, but it's the same thing. Is there is no difference. Asian high, Asian low as a target. I didn't see Asian high as a target. Me personally. That's not close, guys. That's not. That's what I'm telling you. It's not close. My opinion. To consider that as target, it's not enough for me. I mean, it's too much. The distance is too much for me. Well, if you respected your plan, well, there is no reason to be like to feel bad. Yesterday, some of you had TP and I had stop loss. What changed? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing has changed. Some days that's gonna happen. Some days you're gonna have it. I'm not gonna have it. If you're not trading in the same direction, and someday I'm gonna have it and you're not gonna have it. Well, but that was a no retracement movement. Just straight targets, bro. TP, coach. All right. We got some TP. Bruce TP. Fabian Slate TP. Who else got some TP today? It's almost 11. I'm about to close the stream. And I gotta go buy some coffee, man. Well, Café Fini depuis vendredi. And bah acheter café, man. And bah boire café matin, bah boire café here, so I gotta drink some coffee today. Aldino fait TP, Danny almost TP, that's good, brother. Just observe market today, coach. That's fine. There's nothing bad. There is nothing bad at all. All right, we have the new hourly candle, bro. Well, I would like to see the market. I would like to see the market take the hourly candle. Not the hourly. Take the target in the first 30 minutes. All right, first 30 minutes of the hourly, we just move to the upside, and after that, because now you expect the next hour might create a retracement. You know, that's a big movement, and the next hour might create a retracement to go to the upside. Or if this hour will like just keep moving to the upside, we're gonna have an imbalance, and 12 to 1 p.m. might create a retracement. You never know, you know. So now you want to see price take the target. very fast. Not very fast, but in the first 30 minutes, market supposed to like just take it, and yeah, there it is. There it is. As the target, so they take it. Well, TP hit, guys. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to be here with you, and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be Wednesday, right? See you tomorrow for another session. And what else? I don't know. If you didn't take trade, what can be the plan? Well, basically, like I usually say, these areas they have a lot of targets. You know, they have a lot of pending orders. That's why I use them as targets, right? So two things can happen. We might have a massive rejection as soon as we close the. As soon as we fill these targets, we might have massive retracement, or the market might just break it with conviction and then come back to it and retest it. That's basically where the support and resisting stuff came out. That's the idea between it. But like I usually say, this is not my opportunity. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna buy high. I'm gonna buy low. All right. And none of these are my opportunity. None of these are opportunity for me, like based on the way I trade. All right. Well, sometimes let me rephrase that. Based on the context, sometimes that can be an opportunity. Sometimes, all right. But this one, never. You will never see me buying high. I don't buy high. I don't buy after breakout. I don't buy high. I always buy low. I always buy after the market create a downside movement and manipulation, and then boom, we move to the upside. Okay. So from the IC we had and to the target, that was basically 123 something. That's 123.82. All right. So right there, that's not gonna be a high probability trade for me, in my opinion. All right. Trying to wait for the break and retest and stuff like shit like that. I don't do this. I don't do none of that. But that's what can happen in this area. We might have a massive rejection depending on how many pending orders, how long the pending orders have stayed there too. Because if the market like left a liquidity for a long time, when we're gonna come back, you might see a huge reaction because it's been there for a long time. Okay, so yep. See you tomorrow, guys. It was a pleasure to be here with you. Mwen pa ba nou manti, price action ye ak jodi an soule ki man mwen. This is the best. This is the good price action, bro. I have nothing to complain about the price action. Even yesterday, nothing, bro. We just missing out of information, but nothing to complain about yesterday's price action. We're just missing out on these lows right here. That was it. That was the only thing that happened. But today was pretty much fine and easy. Okay. No wash, no FOMO. Like I said, I don't wash. I used to. Don't get me wrong. I used to wash a lot. I used to like running after the market. But years of experience, I don't do that anymore. As you can see, I stay like very calm, very très posé. Rete tan market la ba on bagay. Si l bay li, nou bon, l pa bay li tout, nou pa bon, ou bien l bay li nou fait stop loss. So, it's fine, you know. We don't wash. I don't like rushing anything in life. So see you tomorrow for another New York Stock Exchange. Hopefully you've learned from this session. Hopefully you got something from this session. All right. Ciao.
monkey.